going to start today by talking about Deshaun Watson because we have been knowing what went on since Monday. Obviously, Judge Sue Robinson made her decision. Deshaun Watson will be suspended 6 games from the National Football League. We know the Roger Goodell and crew did not like that. We know that they have now appointed another person to hear the case, and it sounds like the NFL wants an indefinite suspension of Deshaun Watson for at least one season. Now, throughout this whole process, let's start with when the Browns got Deshaun Watson. You heard my breaking news podcast about it, which you can go back and watch on Anchor, Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to any podcast. As always, our video clips are also up on the Brandon's World YouTube channel. But my reaction was I was over the moon for Browns fans. You guys know how I felt about Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. I did not think it was a good marriage. Him and head coach Kevin Stefanski. A change clearly needed to be made. And in my opinion, the Browns have finally found their franchise quarterback in Deshaun Watson. And I do think it will be worth the wait, whatever that wait will be. I think at some point Deshaun will play in a Cleveland Browns uniform. And for Browns fans' sake, I hope it's this year. Obviously, I understand the concerns. However, as I've always said, the NFL was a business. The NFL was taking chances on players. You look at a guy like Adrian Peterson. Yeah, he was still suspended for a year, but he was in love. Now, he was in love with the fan base. Now, Ray Rice is another guy who, did not get a second chance. If you guys remember, Tyreek Hill got in trouble for whipping his son. And Tyreek Hill got no games and is still beloved and is known as one of the best wide receivers in football. I understand, obviously, this is a different case, but as we know in the National Football League, winning cures all. And to me, on the field, there was no doubt about it. This was the correct move for the Browns to make after being out on the Russell Wilson sweepstakes. Obviously, Russell Wilson went to Denver. Now they get Deshaun Watson. I do think the Browns are a very improved football team with Deshaun Watson. Now, here's the thing. If Deshaun Watson misses the whole year, then yes, I agree with you. This Browns season after week 6 is pretty much over because I don't think Jacoby Brissett can beat Baltimore twice. I think he can possibly beat Pittsburgh once. I don't think he can beat Cincinnati. So that's where, to me, the upgraded quarterback comes in because I'm not even sure if Baker Mayfield could do that. But this Browns team, their first 6 games at Atlanta. I'm not thinking too much of Atlanta this year. That should probably be a win. Same thing with the Jets week 2. Pittsburgh, their quarterbacks are all struggling in camp, even though that's a divisional game. I think the Browns are the better team. That could be, 3-0. And obviously Carolina week 1 with Baker Mayfield. Now, if Baker Mayfield starts, we know that's going to be a tough game because we know Baker Mayfield is going to come out fired up. We know that he's going to wake up feeling quote unquote dangerous, whatever the hell that means. And so to me, if the Browns can escape there 3-1, obviously the Chargers will be tough. We know New England, even though we don't expect them to move the ball that great offensively, we know they could be tough. So if the Browns can go 3-3, even 4-2 in the first 6 games, and Watson does not get an indefinite suspension, I do think that this Browns season is still going to be tough down the stretch, but you'll certainly be in better shape than if you start off 2-4, 1-5, or 0-6. Now, here's the thing when it comes to this ruling is Judge Sue Robinson basically said that Deshaun Watson kind of does deserve more games. She believes that the quarterback, the former Houston Texan quarterback, was not telling the whole truth basically in her ruling, but she revealed the NFL pretty much has no guidelines on it, so she pretty much cannot suspend him any more than 6 games, 2 games each for each account of the sexual assault, which again, the NFLPA pretty much said, hey, NFL agree to this ruling. Why have a judge if you're not going to agree to the ruling? And it just shows that the NFL at this point is power hungry. They feel like that Deshaun Watson is tainting the image of the game. They feel like they're going to lose a lot of women fans. You imagine ratings are going to go down this year, which again is all true, but ratings have always bounced back. Whether it's been COVID, whether it's been, social issues with Colin Kaepernick, whatever the case may be, ratings go down, ratings will always come back up because the NFL is the greatest sport in the world. And the NFL, to me, this is not a good look for Roger Goodell and crew. As I said, why hire Judge Sue Robinson if you're not going to go based on her ruling? It was pointless then to have a judge. It was pointless then to wait all this time. They should have just put Watson on administrative leave, should have just suspended him an additional year like they wanted, and we could kind of all go on our merry way. But apparently the NFL wants to draw this long colluded plan out, I guess, if you will. And it's really frustrating because for the Browns' sake, they don't know now. The NFLPA appeals Deshaun Watson could potentially start week one. This appeal could last all season. And then next season could be the season that Deshaun Watson gets suspended, which would stink for him because, as we know, the Browns did a reduced number in the salary cap this season. Next season, it's an overinflated amount. Maybe that's what the NFL wants, to make Deshaun Watson pay a real amount of money for the suspension. I have no idea. It's all a tricky situation. Everybody is obviously running in circles over it. That's why I haven't commented a lot until we get concrete news, because it is so much speculation. But I thought initially he was going to get a year, and then the reports kept rolling out that, hey, it could be 8, it could be 6, it could be 4. And I have always contested to you. And again, not saying that all of the 22 women involved initially in the case are lying, but I've always contested to you that when a guy says, hey, take me to court, I did nothing, I'll testify, I'll do whatever you need me to, I did nothing, that to me shows that Deshaun Watson really believes he did not do anything wrong, because you just don't say, hey, take me to court, I know I'm going to win, if you don't think you really have a good fighting chance, in my opinion. Now, I do think that Deshaun, and Judge Sue Robinson alluded to this, I do think that he did something with those massage therapists. The reason why she ordered, him to only get massage therapists from the Browns. I do think that Deshaun did some sort of misconduct, but I don't think that it's worth a year suspension. I think 6 games is fair. The NFL should have accepted it. There's no reason to have Judge Sue L. Robinson on this case unless you fully agree. There should have been in writing. Both parties will agree to whatever the judge rules. So basically, at this point, everything that was going on beforehand was a waste of time, and we'll wait to see the result of this. As of right now, Deshaun Watson is suspended 6 games. That's what I will go off of when I make my NFL predictions. Obviously, that could change. As I said, Watson could miss the whole year. Watson could start week one and miss the gauntlet of a season, which obviously includes 5 of the 6 division games, which would not be ideal for the Browns. And so, again, everything is up in the air, and we'll just have to wait and see where things go.